Welcome. I'll add my welcomes. I'm the Associate Dean Postgraduate, and in this faculty what I do is look after all matters PhD. And for some of you who haven't yet begun postgraduate work, this might seem something way out there, but a BA Honours, a Masters, a PG Dip, all of those can lead to really interesting careers for you, but they can also lead you on a research track that will take you to PhD. And if any of you are interested in finding out the kinds of pathways that you want, the pathways you're looking at choosing now might lead to PhD, then feel free to talk to me or any of the graduate advisors here. They'll know what to do and what to explain to you. PG work may begin with honours and PG dips, but it can take you into a much more intensive research-centred exploration where you begin to make your own contribution to knowledge under the guidance of our internationally recognised researchers who are also passionate about their subject and yours. So PhD work and Masters by thesis work enables you to pursue a research career academically, but also in research institutes and postdoctorally around the world and in New Zealand. And it enables you to become a member of a community of scholars that exists around the globe, but also here at the University of Auckland, with other scholars who are engaging in areas that are similar to yours. So writing a thesis of 80 to 100,000 words might seem like a daunting task right now, but it's also a very incredible journey of learning that you can engage with and undertake. In order to support your PhD and Master's studies, in addition to our supervisors who are active researchers themselves, we offer you a graduate study centre. If you're a completing undergraduate student and you're interested in postgraduate work, you can apply for our competitive summer scholarships. If you're thinking about PhD, you can enrol, you can apply to our Doctoral Research Fund. It's a fund that supports your travel to do archival research or field work in other countries or other parts of New Zealand. We offer PhD writing programs and a writing retreat that takes you away for a week in order to pursue your writing without having other interruptions that come from your everyday life, and we don't let people have access to email while they're away, so there's absolutely no interruptions whatsoever. Of course, departments and the faculty and the university at large offer a range of open seminars and public lectures that you are all invited to attend. And centrally, there are some terrific support services in the Student Learning Centre on research and writing and how we can support you with that. So there are lots of people here who can answer more directly the questions that you may have in terms of pursuing your research, but don't stop thinking about research opportunities and postgraduate work as just being the next degree. There's a whole pathway of opportunities out there for you to continue your research. Thanks.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. It's my pleasure to welcome you all very warmly to this, the Postgraduate Information Evening for the Faculty of Arts. Please do keep coming along. You can't all just hide behind the cameraman. Some will have to be in front. But it's really lovely to see so many people with an interest in doing postgraduate study in the faculty. I won't speak for very long because there are people who will be able to give you much more information, and I hope that we will get through the speechy part fairly quickly so that you can grab a drink and find people who you can really buttonhole in a corner and ask about your favourite discipline and topics. I do remember, surprise, surprise, what my postgraduate years were, and I really enjoyed it. There's lots of reasons for doing postgraduate study. There's reasons in terms of developing the skills that you've already started, getting them more finely honed, developing them at higher levels. Reasons in terms of possibilities of better career structures, better job opportunities. But I think the most important bit is just that you've now, for those of you who have just or are just finishing your undergraduate career, you've now reached a point where you can move into really thinking about the topics and the disciplines that fascinate you. Some of you here have already started on that, and I'm sure you've found that there is quite a shift from undergraduate study into postgraduate study, and it becomes in some ways more enthralling as you go on. It's a wonderful opportunity to take a discipline or a subject that you've grown to really find interesting and now have the skills and the background to pursue it in depth. So I really do hope that you will find a place that you can do it. If you're looking for next year, do have a look at this. Nice brochure with the frigate birds on it, which gives a quick indication of the sort of postgraduate programs you can do in the faculty. There are quite a lot of them. That gives you some indication of all of them. The top ones are the Bachelor of Arts, the undergraduate programs, and then go on to postgraduate. If you're thinking about this year, then we can actually give you the courses and information about the courses in the postgraduate handbook. But often the best source of information is actually to find your graduate advisor from the area you want to work in, pin them down and actually ask them what you can do and follow that through. So, lovely to see you here. I'll hand over to the people who are going to give you some more information, and then we'll let you go free and have a drink and find someone to really talk to. Thanks, you.
Jan.
Hi. You're a lot of people. Bit scary, but all right. As Steve already said, Steve is my main supervisor. As he already said, I'm from Austria. I'm doing a PhD at the Department of Sociology. And the degree system in Austria used to work very differently than it does in New Zealand and all over the world, pretty much. So what I was looking for, once I had my degree from at home, was to get a degree that is actually recognized internationally, so I could get a job. And I wanted to get it from a good university. That's all the expectations I had, pretty much. But what I'm getting here is a lot more. I am meeting new people all the time, probably meet a lot of new people here that I haven't met so far from the faculty or students. I also meet people from different disciplines, coming from different backgrounds with different experiences. I'm able to work as a tutor. This year I'm responsible for the learning of 100 students. Sometimes it seems like more of them. I've also contributed to the research work of our head of department and of other staff members. It's quite a pleasure to hear them mention your work when they're presenting whatever they came up with afterwards at a conference. And I have the luxury to read ridiculous amounts. And it is a luxury because if you're out in the workplace, you usually can't do that. When you're starting out on your undergraduate degree, you're learning the basics of your trade. But as a postgraduate student, you actually have a lot more intellectual freedom. You get to choose your focus of interest, of the things you are interested in most. You can direct your research assignments or your essay assignments to greater extents than as an undergraduate student, all the while knowing that if you need help and support, your lecturers, staff members will give it to you. All the time that I actually spent here at Auckland University, I noticed that things are changing quite considerably. Of course, students and the university are faced with more challenges, and more so today with these economic uncertainties that we don't really grasp most of the time. So education and the skills that we develop and the knowledge we gain are becoming more and more important. But also the university is faced with challenges. It needs to adapt to a changing world, to changing employment situations. It has to adapt the courses, the degrees, but also the services they offer to us. And to me, as a student, the success as a student is not just about passing a paper or to hand in a thesis and get a degree at the end, but also to be prepared for the world out there. And I have to say, I did not really get that from my previous degree. But if I look at the courses that the Student Learning Center and also the Graduate Center are offering, it becomes quite clear that actually these things do matter here at Auckland University. We do need skills, not just academic skills, but also we need information on how does the system actually work? What can we do with our degree, particularly if you have an arts degree, which it's not always apparent what we do afterwards. So courses that Student Learning Center and Graduate Center and the library offer are not just about academic skills. When I started out my degree, I took pretty much everything that was offered library and the Student Learning Center. I took courses on mind mapping, which became very handy when I started to write out my first chapter. Did a course on speed reading, which was at times very depressing, because it turned out that I have a lot of reading habits that actually really slow me down. So I was able to work on that, improve there. But I also took part in courses that were immediately helpful, like on EndNote, and also to get the most out of Word. But that's not all, of course. Other courses they offer is really something of importance when it comes to our careers. For example, I attended some courses, seminar days, where people from within the university were invited, but also from outside the university, and they talked to us about their experiences as researchers. And they shared with us what the different employers actually are looking in graduates from universities. So they inform us on what we actually need to know about how things work, how do we get a job, how do we get published. So if you are actually deciding to continue with postgraduate studies, I encourage you to get involved in your department. It was very important to me to actually do join things in the department, not just work like tutoring and being a research assistant, but also social matters. For example, last year I organized a group of students. We also included undergraduate students to shoot a documentary on child poverty in New Zealand. So it's not just, again, about academic skills, but social skills and skills that you might need outside of university. Get to know your staff and get them to know you, because that might open up quite a lot of opportunities, not just in the short term, but also long term. You might already be aware that the postgraduate degree is not that cheap, particularly if you are an international student. But there are a lot of funding resources out there, and it's might literally pay off for you to actually go to the scholarship office and talk to somebody, get their advice on matters. Another matter that should be mentioned is the Postgraduate Student Association. They are the people who represent our voice and our needs within the university system. One thing I really enjoy that PGSA is organizing every year is Exposure. It's where we postgraduate students can actually present our work that we're doing in our offices all year long to people from outside the department, outside the faculty, and we actually can win quite cool prizes. Another thing that PGSA is doing is they're organizing cool parties. I think they had one just last week, where there's free food, cheap drinks, and good music. I would also like to remind you that the more you talk to other people, the better your chances are to sort out what you want, what the world outside needs, and how you get there. I really would like to remind you to talk to your postgraduate advisor within the department, but also don't be afraid to talk to your former tutors and also talk to other postgraduate students within your department. Just knock on their door. They might frown at you for a moment, but usually we're quite friendly. So also don't hesitate to talk to me as we mingle. Thank you.
Hello. I'm Steve's trusted, or not so trusted, sidekick. I'm the assistant dean student. I'm also a historian, so I work in the Department of History here at Auckland. And I really just want to say, I envy you. I was you once, and I envy the position you are in. You have a world of opportunities in front of you. You have the chance to study at an advanced level at one of the world's best universities in subjects that are far-ranging, they're groundbreaking, they're interesting and fascinating. And one of the reasons you're here, of course, is because you've been inspired in part by those factors. Most of you will have had these subjects as undergraduates, some of you as slightly more advanced postgraduates. And you have had the chance to engage with people who are experts in these fields. So I envy you because you now have the opportunity to delve into the wonderful world of academia, not necessarily to become an academic. You could become like Steve or me or Jan or Jennifer and do this for a living, but also to really find out what the nuts and bolts are of the discipline you've chosen that you're interested in. And you get to do that by engaging with us, the experts in these fields, in a much smaller, more intimate way than you have in the past, either with one-to-one guidance or in small group teaching. And in the process, you can become the expert. I guess this will open up job opportunities and careers. But more importantly, it will heighten your powers of critical thinking. It will stimulate your intellectual juices. And you'll benefit from the guidance we give you. We who cherish the opportunity to turn you into our colleagues or into our potential colleagues of the future. So from my perspective, why do this? Well, I've been in your shoes, and there's possibly 4 reasons I could think of why you would want to go on and study postgraduate level here. Well, one, you could be very pragmatic. You need this degree to get that job, and in this credit crunch crisis period, it will really improve your CV. You may have the edge over someone who's not as well educated as you, or who doesn't have the degree from Auckland University. Or you are driven. You could be both. You want to advance your knowledge base and your skill base. You want to develop yourself. Or you want to excel. You enjoy studying. You thrive on learning new things and revel in the chance to do this at a much higher level. And of course, you could also be here because you actually don't know what you want to do. And this allows you to stay a student just a little bit longer and not worry about the real world out there. So even if you're in that last category, and maybe perhaps because, or if you are in that last category, take it from me, education is never wasted, and advancing your education will open up a world of choices and doors to bright futures. So as Dr. Seuss says in his famous book, Oh, the Places You'll Go, and this is with thanks to my 4-year-old son, I read this to him the other day. Congratulations, today is your day, you're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose. Kid, you'll move mountains, so be your name Bucksbaum or Bixie or Bray, or Mordecai, Alley or Alan O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day, your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. So go find those postgrad advisors that are lurking around. Go talk to people with these things on. And good luck. I really do envy you.